Oh, son of a...
Yeah.
You know, the good thing is that thing doesn't float. Hopefully we have it insured. We get a new one. All your notes there. We lost momentarily our video feed. Is that back up now?
Couldn't really tell you.
Let us know in the chat room if we're back up now. We did not kill the feed just for me to tell the story.
No.
There was no animation. There was no acting it out. Toby says it went down here too for a second. So does that mean it's back up? Let us know in the chat room. Twitch is back up, says Toby. So hectic commercial break there.
It really was. You should not tell it on the air. I would agree.
Yeah. Not going to tell it.
Yeah.
Not going to tell it.
But you would give me that's one of the best landmines ever.
I would say absolutely. It's a weird landmine because technically ended up in something good happening.
That's right.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird landmine. But it is.
Rockstar, do you agree it's one of the...
It is, but it did have a good result.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to grade it.
But just the day before.
Yeah, just another chapter in what would have been, I thought, a great sitcom for my life.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That one's a good one.
It'd be a sad show, though.
Can't win a game.
It would be a very boring
Who
show.
would play your imaginary friends?
It could be anybody. It could be anybody at that point. Would it be sadder than Made? More depressing than Made?
I don't know, man. That thing.
I've done 2 episodes, and it's
sad.
it really is sad.
Speaking of Made, that's what Rockstar told us to watch earlier this week. I'm not watching it because everyone says it's depressing. It is brought to you today by our friends at New Life Art.
Hey, New Life Art, bringing you memorable sports moments by Daniel A. Moore for over 40 years. Make that call today for more information, 1-800-735-2787, or to view that incredible art, go online, danielmooreart.com.
One thing, there's a new show tonight on E! 8:30. It's called Clash of the Cover Bands. One thing that
I like this.
makes me uncomfortable
Okay.
is tribute bands.
Now, is this cover bands or tribute bands?
What's the
bands.
difference?
Tribute bands or cover
They
bands.
dress up like them too?
I try to act like them.
Yeah.
Like I dress up like Vince Neil, and I have the blonde wig, and I'm trying to act like we have with AC/DC. If a guy like Angus Young wears the little velvet suit and everything, it's just
Yeah, was
really,
it Strutter was Kiss's tribute band?
I
I
can't
think they were
remember.
really big. I mean, there's a lot of tribute bands out there. I mean, Steel Dragon was a tribute band, weren't they?
Yeah. It's 2 tribute bands of international rock icons go head to head for $10,000 and a chance to perform on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. 2 cover bands, tribute bands.
And so it's like a little battle? Boom, boom, boom?
Yeah, like they have axes and stuff. But I think I'm guessing it's going to be the judges like American Idol or something like that.
Did you see that Paul McCartney called the Rolling Stones a blues cover band?
They've had their little bit of rivalry for a couple
Have they
years.
really?
Yeah, it's been.
Rolling
Yeah,
Stones still kicking out the concert tours. What about the Beatles?
Technically, it's not McCartney's fault.
Yes, really not.
And Dunaway on Hulu tonight's got a new show coming out, Dope Sick. Michael Keaton stars in how one company triggered one of the worst drug epidemics in American history. Michael Keaton's all over the place lately.
Well, he really is.
No, Peter Skarsgård's in this. There's some other good actors. It looks pretty good, or at least interesting,
I haven't seen
based
the
on a true
trailer.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what Rockstar is watching tonight. You guys watching anything good lately?
You know what I watched lately? It was on Netflix. It's a 4-part documentary about, I think the name of the company is Lulu or something like that. They built a pyramid scheme out of these women's pants, which sounds crazy, but they're like the stretchy pants, kind of like yoga pants.
Lululemon?
Lululemon?
No. Lula or Lulu. It's not Lululemon. But it's kind of what they were the forerunner of. But
Yeah.
they had real tacky patterns on them instead of just being
Have you
basic colors.
already finished all 4 parts?
Yeah, I finished 4 parts. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's not going to blow you away, but it is interesting because they interview the people and they interview all the people that got burned by it. And basically, they got sued for being a pyramid scheme. It's called Lula Rich, I think is the name of it.
Yeah, I just started something yesterday. So Aaron Suttles from The Athletic, who we will do Bama and Bourbon later today, told me about a thing called Midnight Mass. I think it's 9
We
parts.
couldn't do it.
Did you try it?
Yeah, first episode. Did you try it?
Yeah, I watched 2.
We watched the first episode, and it's the same people that did the Haunting of Hill
Yeah,
House.
Mike
and-
Flanagan.
Yeah, it's the same people, same actors and everything, but it's just because what's his name's in it from E.T. Little boy.
Henry Thomas?
Yeah, he's the dad.
I didn't even realize
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Well, they
there's a lot of actors you will recognize are good character actors that have done a lot of different things, but it's kind of supernatural / horror, and it takes place on this island that's a population of 127 people. The interesting thing I thought was how it was shot, and it kind of makes you feel like part of that island.
Yeah, it's just
It's not a lot of happiness either.
Yeah. You
Well,
guys
you don't have to say that anymore.
A lot of dead birds.
We accept it.
I'd rather watch Ted Lasso reruns than Midnight Mass. Goose says Midnight Mass is good, but to me, it just didn't stick the landing.
Oh, I might need to give it up then.
Yeah, and Goose is always dead on with that. All right, let's do our spotlight. It's brought to you by our friends at Am First. Hit it, Rockstar. Oh, not ready yet. Okay.
I can give you breaking news. Eli Ricks, the corner opposite Stingley, is out for the season.
Yeah.
Ed Orgeron made that announcement in the SEC teleconference. So they have now lost Stingley, Ricks, and Keyshawn Boutte.
Yeah.
And Stingley is not necessarily out for the season, but boy, it's hard to think he's going to come back.
Especially if other people
Are
end
punching
up
out.
leaving. Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough for them. I mean, they are falling apart down there.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if Keyshawn Boutte will be back next year for LSU. He's not draft eligible, I don't think, right?
I'd have to look. I thought he was, but I could be wrong.
Boutte, I don't think he is.
Yeah, I think he's got one more
Yeah, I
year.
think he's through sophomore.
So you say he may hit the old Portel?
Yeah.
He would be quite coveted in the portal.
I
Let me go
would
and tell you.
roll straight to Oklahoma.
You
Would
would?
you?
Yeah. I'd roll to where the best quarterback in America is right now.
Well, you could go to Alabama. I just
I didn't say that. I just said I would look around the
I know what
landscape
you're
and pick who
thinking.
the best quarterback is.
But think about Boutte would be the best wide receiver. It would be another one of those elite, to me, Alabama wide receivers.
Oh, gotcha. Wherever he goes, he could be elite as long as he's got a quarterback.
Yeah, got to have a quarterback to deliver the football. All right, Spotlight, Rockstar. Are you ready now? Hit it, man.
The America's first Federal Credit Union Spotlight.
Sound the alarm. Woo, woo,
It's my favorite one.
College football's upset alert.
Banking isn't just about your money, it is about you. Getting help with what you need when you need it, that's what AmFirst does. AmFirst was founded for you, and AmFirst has been putting you first ever since.
All right, upset alert. I sent out the standings earlier. Brown leading the way 5-1 with 9 points, 3-3 with 6 points, 3-3 with 6 points. I've gone 3 in a row of hitting those
That's
little
why
layups.
you sent that out.
Little
Yep,
layups.
no doubt it
No.
is,
I just needed a place for the standings to have it saved up. So you want to start us off? No, they want me to start off so it doesn't look like I'm copying you. So let me go first.
All right, go.
I'm going to take Kansas State this week. I don't have the points, Brown.
I'll find it, Will.
Kansas State against Iowa State.
I think.
Skylar Thompson returned. He looked really good against Oklahoma. Actually, they threw the ball a lot against Oklahoma. I think 29 of 41, if I read correctly, 3 touchdown passes, 320 yards. Something just not right with Iowa State this year. I like Kansas State in Manhattan to win this game over Iowa State. How many points am I getting?
7.
7.
You're catching 7
which
currently.
puts me into the super dog category. I like that a lot if they went outright.
That thing was 5.5 earlier. I guess people got the tip that you were on
That's
this.
right. Dunaway's on it. Let's go.
Running to the window to play the Cyclones.
Bet that thing up.
So my first upset alert is Kansas State.
I will go to the Big Ten here. This is interesting. The last time Purdue is heading to Iowa City to take on the Hawkeyes, which I think their offense is complete garbage. But the last time Purdue faced a top 2 team, which is Iowa right now, sitting at number 2 for the first time since 1985, they beat number 2 Ohio State. We all remember that emotional game Saturday night on ESPN just a couple of years ago. You guys remember that, right?
I do, yes.
Purdue has 8 wins as an unranked versus the top 2 teams. That's twice as many as any other school in the history of college football.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Twice as many?
Twice as many. Yeah.
Wow.
As an unranked beating either number 1 or number 2. I'm not going to be surprised at all if Purdue goes on the road and gives Iowa their first loss. I'm catching 11.5 here. Obviously, that's a super dog.
It sounds like a haunted super dog.
That is.
I think people want to see this, though, right? You want to see chaos.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's why we tune in every Saturday, is because you just don't want it to be your team. You want chaos everywhere but your field.
Yeah, I think you wanted chaos until Alabama. You did not want chaos until Alabama lost. Now it's okay.
Now all the chaos in the world.
all the chaos.
I am going to go to the Southeastern Conference for my pick. I teased it the other day. I'm sticking with it. Texas A&M is on the road at Missouri. Jimbo got to get them back down after the biggest win he's ever had. In College Station, one of the biggest wins in Texas A&M history. All these players, biggest win they've ever had. Everybody's been telling them how great they are this week. Everybody's been patting them on the back. Everybody's been showing them the video of the kicker's wife crying. Everybody was storming the field. All you've heard is how great Texas A&M is this week. You know where they hadn't heard that? Columbia, Missouri. All they've heard is how bad they are. This is Missouri plus 8.5. My regression to the mean game of the year. Because Texas A&M has not been that great offensively. You might be surprised at that watching that Alabama game. They've only scored 26.3 points per game. That's 12th in the conference. Zach Calzada had the highest passing grade against Alabama, according to Pro Football Focus, since 2009. They just caught lightning in a bottle. They're going to regress to the mean. Missouri plus the 8. It is my regression to the mean game of the year. For the record, I do need the points.
Missouri's defense is garbage. I think
It is.
offensively, if they can do some things, they might be able to make the
just
decision. I wanted to
track
give
me.
you a forecast real quick. So it's raining and it's drizzling in Columbia right now.
Currently?
And it's going to rain tomorrow and Friday.
That's right, wet balls.
Then the sun's going to come out for the lizard rock.
On
or
the
rock
rocks.
lizards.
Yeah, they're going to be on the rocks right
Yeah,
there.
but it's only going to be in the 50s for Keck.
That's cold.
A lot of sun, though.
You know, A&M does not play well in the
How
cold.
do you think that crowd will be at 11 o'clock in Missouri for a
you
3 and 3?
kidding me? You
3 and 3
kidding me?
Tiger team.
Faroe Field?
No, it'll be 14, 15,000
At
strong.
least, yeah.
There'll be 10, 12 people on those rocks.
Yeah.
You watch, though.
Artificial surface, I believe.
It is.
Maybe time.
Sport turf.
Maybe a little time for that to
You know
dry
what?
out.
I do not like that stadium at all. I hate it that it's in the conference. It's a crap stadium. Those rocks
Completely
look tacky.
remodeled.
It's remodeled, but they didn't do any
It's
good.
a high school stadium.
It's a high school stadium. I hate the font they use for their numbers on the field. It's that slanted font. It just looks like, World Football League or something. The camera angles are too low. Like their camera well for the high 20s is way too low. So it looks weird on TV. There is nothing good about that stadium. But Missouri plus the 8.5 is a good play.
All right, that is our upset alert today, brought to you by our friends at AmFirst, America's first federal credit union. And we'll give you an upset. Kansas State for me, Purdue for Lance, and Missouri for Brownie.
That is right. And banking isn't just about your money. It's about you getting help with what you need when you need it. It's what AmFirst does. AmFirst was founded for you, and AmFirst has been putting you first ever since.
So Lance Stephen asked a great question on our Twitter feed at Next Round Live. Do you guys think these guys are really injured long term, or is this the beginning of the opt-out season down in Baton Rouge? It seems like Jamar Chase started this, but a pandemic was going on. So, that got covered up a little bit. But you go back, Fournette took some games off, and it was debatable on how injured he was a couple of times.
Yeah,
and
you don't want to call guys out, but when we first heard Stingley was out, just thinking, and we might even said this, if they lose a couple in a row, you probably don't see him again.
Yeah.
It
Not that he
does-
wasn't hurt, but why come back at some point?
It does feel like that these guys, let's just put it this way. If LSU was 6-0,
You don't feel like you'd see this.
I've got a feeling like you would see these guys.
Boutte legit got hurt. I mean, he came down.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he was already hurt. and
Trying to
then-
get his foot in.
Yeah, and he got hurt again trying to get his foot in. I mean, is it hurt enough to be out for the season? Like, to your point, if they were 6-0, would he be doing everything he could to be back? Or
Well, I don't think any of these people are not hurt.
Right.
It's just will you see them again?
the
is
willingness
the question,
to get back?
right?
Yeah.
And I really wonder, if you are Boutte and you've got this huge future in front of you and you're not draft eligible yet, do you really start to look at that
Well,
portal?
there are some guys that don't have a stomach for a coaching change.
Yeah,
and
and
those things are hard.
And that seems to be where this is all headed, is for a coaching change at 3-3 right now.
But you're getting that in the portal.
You
Same
are,
thing.
but you're going to a more stable situation.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, you become a free agent at that point. And if you're Boutte, who is looking, next year would be his draft eligible year, do you want to roll the dice with the quarterbacks you see in practice right now? Or as one of the best receivers in the country, you can pick any quarterback you want.
Yeah, I mean, you can go play with C.J. Stroud right now at Ohio State. I mean, Olave and Wilson are going to be on to the NFL.
Anybody would take Boutte.
That's right.
I mean, I think anybody in the country would look at Keyshawn Boutte and say, yeah, he'll fit on my
What
team.
if Boutte was playing Georgia right now?
He would be their leading receiver.
He's one of the best, if not the best, in the SEC right now.
He'd be Alabama's leading receiver right now. I mean, I think he'd be leading receiver just about anywhere.
Just about everywhere.
Yeah.
But you see what has happened here, and this goes back to, Dabo has a belief system at Clemson, and he is being painted now as a guy who is anti-portal. And even though he's had to address it again yesterday, I'm not anti-portal. If there's a guy in the portal I believe will help us here at Clemson, I will get that. But earlier, he had stated a couple of times, we want to have our success. We want to build our program in the draft, not in the portal. But now he's saying, no, if there's a guy in the portal, meanwhile, Nick Saban, Jamison Williams, come on, man, you can come and play.
I mean, he's Alabama's leading receiver. He's their best receiver right now.
And he's been doing that along the way, whether it's been a JUCO guy or a transfer guy, now a portal guy, since he got there. And that I think if you're Boutte, you look at a place like Oklahoma, you said, where they've had success of having portal guys come in or transfer guys come in and have instant success. I think some coaches are painted as more free agent friendly than other coaches
Well,
are.
I think you got to get with that. I mean,
Yeah.
look, Dabo, as you said, now is going to endorse that. It's amazing when you brought Dabo up. Clemson is just
Off the radar.
They really are.
Yeah, I mean, I see the most I see of Clemson is DJ Uiagalelei and the Dr. Pepper commercials. He's in the portal to Fansville.
Yeah. I agree with you, and I think because there will be great players like Boutte on teams that are 3-3 facing coaching changes, or average teams with average quarterback play or whatever, for the rest of the history of college football, now that we're in a free agent situation, you've got to be portal friendly. You got to be free agent friendly, because the ability to get one of those guys who are proven, it's not a gamble on a 5-star high school kid. It's a proven SEC success story who's going to be a first-round NFL pick, and you're able to pick that up and add to your team. It would be monumental if Boutte ever decides to leave LSU.
Well, and you think about backup quarterbacks right now that have really – they've thrived. I mean, Stetson Bennett is starting to become a legitimate quarterback, and that's a guy that maybe could have transferred because he didn't win the job against with JT Daniels. Matt Calzada, when he lost that, it seemed like, the one off-season battle we talked about, is it going to be King, is it going to be Calzada? When he announced King, Calzada could have transferred out.
Yep. But you see some success stories on the transfers, like Mordecai's killing it right now at SMU.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so the
Justin
portal
Fields, transfer from Georgia.
Yeah, the portal can work, man. The portal can work, and we'll see what Ricks and Boutte both, according to Mark, with eligibility left and not draft eligible. So if those guys aren't back this year, are they still with LSU next year? Does a coaching change make a difference? Is that another reason why you want maybe to make a change earlier? To say, hey, we understand that you guys aren't happy. We'll make a change, and we'll get a coach that will make you happy.
That's a risky game to play there.
Yeah, it's a tough situation right now at LSU. We'll see how it all works out moving forward. The Pepsi hotline's opened up, 205-734-0923, 205-734-0923. More of you guys in the chat room, and also on Twitter and Next Round Live as we roll on. The show being brought to you by our friends at Ship Happens. As you move around the country as a business owner, needing to move your product from West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, North to South, the folks at Ship Happens can make it happen.
In today's ever-changing market, your supply chain, it's a major factor in maintaining and growing relationships with your customers. Safe, on-time, and affordable shipments, they are crucial. With over 20 years combined experience and relationships, our friends Jeff and Griffin at Ship Happens, they've got the ability to get ship done. From LTL, van, flatbed, heavy haul, and expedited, Ship Happens ready to bring a solution to all of your transportation problems. Don't have an accident and ship yourself. Call the guys at Ship Happens, 205-605-8101. That's 205-605-8101.
All right, when we come back, Mark Stoops doesn't want to hear about poor Kentucky this week. Next on the Next Round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Banking isn't just about your money, it's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. AmFirst was founded for members just like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means services that grow and change with the times to serve you better. Now, every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you, so it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. You can even customize the app, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the #1 priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. That's amfirst.org, America's first federal credit union, federally insured by the NCUA. That sound means someone got great advice. Always have a good plumber on standby. For me, that is Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing. Jeremy Purvis and his team can handle commercial and residential plumbing needs, and they give you free quotes. 205-516-4927 or ironmountainworld.com. They handle all your plumbing and jetter services. They'll do everything from drips to new fixtures, and they are licensed, bonded, and insured. ironmountainworld.com. Just drain it.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. I'm absolutely loving my Alfa Romeo Stelvio that I've been in for months now, and right now you can get up to $3,500 bonus cash plus 1.9% financing for 72 months on the all-new 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulias and the Stelvios at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Come experience the passion and performance of Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com, 1837 Grants Mill Road, exit 27, right off of I-459. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Nothing to do tonight? Wanna bet? It's nonstop gaming action at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino. You'll find the latest and greatest games featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. Wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. And try your luck on our popular sports parlay promotion. Don't miss your chance to win at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Located off I-459, exit 31. Must be 21 or older.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
I can't say it simpler than this. Way to Wellness saved my life. I'm Jim Dunaway, and the Way to Wellness program helped me lose 45 pounds and get my blood pressure and cholesterol in check. You can do it too. Go to the website, aplanforme.com. No cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed for you. The program is overseen by board certified professionals. There are no contracts, there are no sign-up fees, and you get a free consultation. The website is aplanforme.com. Tell them you want a plan like Jim. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Drunk driving prevention is a priority at Anheuser-Busch. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Encourage friends to join in the pledge to Decide to Ride on DecideToRide.com. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, are you suffering from that lower back pain? Get moving this fall with our friends at Stretch Zone. Great for golfers, runners, desk jockeys, weekend warriors, and more. To learn more, book an appointment, 205-509-2349 or online, stretchzonebeham.com. Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Before Rockstar tells us about his guy, Sam Pittman opened up the teleconference, the SEC teleconference today, talking about Auburn, saying Auburn's only 2 losses have been to 2 top 7 football teams in the country. Tank is as good a running back as there is in the nation. The defensive line is playing like Auburn.
It's a tough game to figure out, this one.
He's true on the first part.
Yeah.
They've only lost to number 1 and number 7.
Yeah, he's right about that.
Then after that, Tank and the defensive line. And defensive line's coming around.
Yeah.
Coming around, playing better.
Tank Bigsby, in large part, has been a non-factor the last few games.
I don't know about you guys. I think Arkansas is a better team. I think they got the better quarterback. I think they've got the better coach. They're playing at home. And Arkansas strikes me as a team that will not get flat, even coming off losses, if that makes any sense.
This will be the test of that.
Yeah, and they're coming off back-to-back losses. And, you know, they go from getting beaten down, and I thought they showed up in Oxford.
They did.
Thought they, were really competitive. That was a great game. It came down to a 2-point conversion, obviously, at the end there. But I don't know. It's a weird game because Arkansas is only a 3.5-point favorite.
That's right, which tells you a lot. Rockstar wants to tell you a lot about his man as well.
That's a 3rd generation. Adam is a 3rd generation realtor. That's Adam Mestre. He was born and raised in Birmingham, so he knows the area. You want a guy like Adam to find a house for you? Why rent when you can buy? Buying a home is the largest financial decision you will make, so make sure you are using an agent that you can trust to help you walk through the process. Call Adam Mestre for a free home evaluation, 205-422-0589. At MD Realty, we make house calls.
A weird small line for Auburn and Arkansas and Fayetteville, a rather large line for the battle between number 1 Georgia hosting number 11 Kentucky, over 3 touchdowns. And Mark Stoops, though, doesn't want anyone to be talking about the poor me's at Kentucky running into this game He just wants to go suit up and see what the Cats can do.
The thing about Georgia is, what's difficult is there's no masking things. They're very well coached and very physical, and so you have to play them. Of course, there's game plans and change ups and things, but you have to just match up, and that's difficult to do. But we have to get better. We have to have ways to protect certain guys, but with them, it's you just have to man up and play.
Yeah, man up and play. Basically, it's not many nuances to playing Georgia this year.
Yeah, but I mean, that's got to be frustrating though for Mark Stoops to know this may be the best team I'll ever have in Kentucky. I mean, we are 5-0, 6-0, whatever they are. We're people talk about me being coach of the year, and I flip on the tape and I watch a team that looks unbeatable to me. I mean, that's got to be super frustrating.
Well, I tell you what's got to be frustrating too. We've known that Kentucky's offense over the last couple of years has struggled, although they've had success as a team because of the defense, and Mark Stoops is a hell of a coach. But this is the best Georgia defense that Mark Stoops has ever faced.
Correct.
And did you guys realize their last two meetings against Georgia, they've failed to score a touchdown?
Yeah.
So if they haven't scored a touchdown the last couple of years, and we're expecting them to come out and be able to hang with Georgia offensively, I mean, it's going to take the weirdest game in the world where Georgia's -4 in turnovers. Their offense can do absolutely nothing. Rodriguez breaks a couple of runs. I mean, it would take borderline miracle for Kentucky to win this game, in my opinion.
Do you think Kentucky has improved their passing offense this year?
I do, but I would imagine the numbers don't back it up, but they've had moments that they did, and I thought last week it was one of those moments that they took a step forward.
They are 13th in the conference. But I agree with you, but because the last 2, 3, I'm looking back now, the last 3 years they've been 14th in the conference, so they're up a spot.
Moving up,
They're
man.
moving up, but I mean, they are throwing for about 30 or 40 more yards per game. It's at least got life to it. 11 touchdowns, 6 picks for Will Levis and the Kentucky passing offense.
Yeah, but no Ali, that hurts, but Wandell is really, really good, and they've got some playmakers out there, and Levis at least – I think is a threat to throw the ball.
He is.
I mean, he's not having, great success compared to, say, Bryce Young number-wise, but I think at least there's a threat there enough to where you have to, keep an eye on Rodriguez and smoke.
But they are super one-dimensional. They really are. I mean, they just do not threaten you. Throwing the ball is enough for me to test this Georgia defense. This Georgia defense is obviously Kirby Smart, a lot like he was at Alabama. You get one-dimensional against them, it's really tough.
Before you tell us about Lanyas Furniture, I want to give you a chance to clean up what you had said or just explain it to NAAU fan. You don't really mean Brian Harsin that Sam Pittman's a better coach overall than Brian Harsin? You mean right now at their program with what they have, Sam Pittman's doing a better job of coaching than Brian Harsin?
So what I'm talking about, I mean, we don't have a big sample size from Sam Pittman. We've got a year and a year and a half
basically, and it's been pretty good.
But I think it's been really good. I mean, we were talking about an Arkansas team before he took it over that had lost 19 consecutive SEC games. Auburn is a much better program, but where Sam Pittman is right now, if I'm projecting this out over the next 2 or 3 years, I think everyone will say Sam Pittman's the better coach.
Pittman's got his identity already established at Arkansas. The team knows what they are.
Took over Boise State. Everyone wins at Boise State except Andy Avalos.
And Brian Harsin doesn't have a recruiting class or his personality. Any fingerprints
my opinion.
on the Auburn program.
We'll see.
Yet. Lanyas Furniture brings you this later in the show. Todd Fuhrman coming up at 12 o'clock. More college football on the other side, including our 3 and Out, not too far away. But Lanyas Furniture not far away from great savings.
No, Dunaway, our longtime viewers and listeners, they've known Lanyas Furniture as Alabama's home for lazy boy value, as well as the go-to source for other great brands such as Flex Steel, Universal, Bernhardt, and many others. Short drive to those huge showrooms in Warrior. Definitely worth the drive when you check out the great prices and the fact that Lanyas Furniture keeps that gigantic inventory that allows for immediate delivery. If you've shopped for furniture during the last 18 months, you know it's hard to find, but John Lanyas and his staff made the decision to place even larger orders to fill those warehouses during the beginning days of the pandemic, and they've never let up. The result, Lanya's Furniture has one of the largest in-stock inventories of Lazy Boy and many other products. They can quickly deliver your new furniture anywhere in the state. Go see them in Warrior, or if you like, shop 24/7 at LanyasFurnitureCompany.com. That's Lanya's Furniture in Warrior, your home for Lazy Boy value.
Mid-season All-American teams. What's missing? Next.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
There's nothing I like more than a unique, delicious meal, and that's what you get at Champy's world-famous fried chicken right on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Those great full fried chicken plates, the tenders, the po' boys, but I love the Southern staple chicken on a stick. It's perfect for a tailgate or watching the big game. And then the authentic Mississippi Delta recipe homemade tamales, the best I've ever tasted. See the whole menu or order online at champyschicken.com. For Blues, Brews, and Bird, it's Champy's Chicken, Highway 119, Alabaster.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. I'm absolutely loving my Alfa Romeo Stelvio that I've been in for months now, and right now you can get up to $3,500 bonus cash plus 1.9% financing for 72 months on the all-new 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulias and the Stelvios at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Come experience the passion and performance of Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com, 1837 Grants Mill Road, exit 27, right off of I-459.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family, all at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app. Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
This hour of The Next Round is brought to you by Excalibur Services, a name you can trust when it comes to residential heating, AC, and electrical services. Excalibur is growing and looking for exceptional HVAC techs, plumbers, and electricians. 205-718-8688. Alabama license number 15214.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Greystone Chiropractic and their brand new facility in Tattersall Park is the premier family wellness office in Birmingham. Dr. Lee Goldenberg is committed to helping families unleash their unlimited healing potential naturally in a beautiful and stress-free environment. Voted best in Birmingham 3 years in a row, nominated for Shelby County Healthcare Provider of the Year. What sets Dr. Goldenberg and Greystone Chiropractic apart? Their attention to detail, their thorough approach with patients, and their excellent customer service. I trust my family with Dr. Goldenberg. You can too. Visit GreysstoneChiropractor.com or call 981-8090.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Vulcan Tire and Automotive. 4 great locations right here in Birmingham. The next time you need one or a set of new tires, do yourself a favor. Stop by, see the guys at Vulcan Tire and Auto. Locally owned and operated with a wide selection of the top tire brands available. The guys there can get you set and get you safely back out on the road. Again, 4 locations in Birmingham: Hoover, Moody, Trustful, and Gardendale. For more information, you can always visit them online. Check them out today, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
Anheuser-Busch wants every experience for you around beer to be a good one. And getting home safely is always a priority. So encourage friends to decide to ride, whether it's by being the designated driver, calling an Uber, or taking public transit. You cannot drive drunk if you don't drive there. This message is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Back with you on the next round, halfway through the show on this Wednesday. Pepsi hotline open at 205-734-0923, 205-734-0923. You guys jumping in on Twitter. Appreciate you guys doing that. KL, that's a new Twitter follower right there. KL jumps in, and he asks the question, how can you guys talk about a story like you're a bunch of alpha Kais? KR. Alpha Kais. And not tell the story. The tease. He says.
Or alpha Kais were teasing.
Oh, that was back to the yeah. And there's just one of those things we couldn't talk about.
Well,
there.
just to be fair, Dunaway, I think you felt okay about telling it this morning, and then when I said yellow light, it got Brown's attention, and then I think everybody that you told in break said.
Then
no,
having heard it, I would leave it off.
Do you agree, Rocky?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd leave it off.
Yeah. John writes in, says, hey, Jim, can you please not say anything else about the Braves until the postseason is over? Signed, every Braves fan. I'm not going to bet on the Braves.
Well, what do you think,
year.
though? You think they can beat the Dodgers or Giants?
I really don't. I think I agree with LT. Whoever wins the Giants-Dodgers series, likely your world champion. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, that's your best team in baseball. 105,
I would say
104.
so. Yeah, I would say so. Do you feel good about the Dodgers Thursday?
No.
Okay.
I mean, just think.
Urias, though, again, he's been clutch, but I don't feel good about it.
I mean, the Dodgers, because of their payroll and so many stars, you don't feel good about this one particular game, but if they do get by them in a 7-game series against anybody left, you got to like the Dodgers. Hard to still believe the Giants are doing what they're doing, but they have. They did it all year long, 105 games. They never went away, and now they're going to deciding Game 5 here. The best team in the American League is gone. They had 100 wins, Tampa Bay. The Yankees' big payroll gone. The Red Sox seem to have a little tradition going, and apparently the Astros are stealing signs again. So it's dangerous on the other side.
I mean, the Astros.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It doesn't go away.
Forster's old man manager went after them in his postgame, too, didn't he?
Yeah, well, a couple old guys in that series, and they pointed fingers at each other all the way through it. Don't point. Dusty said, "Don't point at us."
That's right.
When you guys are really good, on the road than you are here, and they started throwing out stats.
I mean, Dusty and Tony together, combined age, Gandalf the Wizard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Combined age of dust.
Combined age, they saw the first pitch in baseball. Before they were back there with Honus Wagner and the guys.
I can tell you this: Dusty Baker ain't getting COVID. My gosh, he's got gloves on. He's wearing a mask. He's all covered up. He is.
It seems like yesterday when he was dragging his kid off the plate. You remember that?
I do remember that.
He's like the Invisible Man.
Yeah, but he is throwing a no-hitter against the COVID.
This hour of the show always brought to you by the great folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 right there in Alabaster. Champy's Chicken with the traditional fried chicken plates that you can get, the tenders, the poor boys, and then you can jump into some unique items they have like the Southern staple chicken on a stick, really a perfect tailgate food, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, which are the best I've ever tasted. See everything they offer online at champyschicken.com. It is worth the drive, or if you're in the area, stop by and see Sterling and the crew. They have an easy call-ahead drive-through. You never have to get out of the car, or just go dine in. Great atmosphere. Blues, Brews, and Bird. It is Champy's Chicken. I said one thing was missing from the All-American list, the mid-season All-American list. You know what's missing? Alabama skill players.
Well, I can't argue against it.
Now, Schleybaugh has Bryce Young as his quarterback, which you can make a case that Bryce Young is, can be your Heisman favorite. He can be the best quarterback in the country right now. Yeah. There are others you can throw in there.
He is the Heisman favorite still.
Yeah, he is. And he has done nothing that would make me say he's not your first-team All-American right now, halfway through.
But there is not a running back, and there is no wide receiver. Evan Neal shows up on most every list as an offensive lineman. On the defensive side, Will Anderson shows up on almost every midseason All-American list, and that's it. The most consistent ones, somehow Bryce Young. Everybody's got Evan Neal. Everybody's got Will Anderson, and that's it.
Well,
that is it. So the roster, you have to give me, the roster is very different in 2020 2021 than it was 2020 just by looking from 1,000 feet above all these midseason All-American lists.
But I'll say this, for 2 consecutive weeks, Brian Robinson's been your offensive MVP. He may not be on that list, but you
can't crack the Bijan Robinson, Kenneth Walker.
No. Those are good
list,
running backs. But I mean, I don't think. I guess my point there is, don't let the fact that he's not, where a Najee Harris would be, diminish what Brian Robinson has done. That's your offensive. It may be. I mean, it's so easy to go quarterback. He may be your offensive MVP for the year.
I think outside of Bryce Young, he would be. But the way you say that, it's just, I think Alabama fans have gotten spoiled to having multiple names. And that's still over 13% of your All-American team right now.
Yeah, but if the NFL draft was tomorrow, how many first-rounders do you think you'd be seeing from Alabama?
Well, if he was draft eligible, Will Anderson would be a first-rounder.
Right.
The same with Bryce. Evan Neal is a first-rounder.
And that may be, and
Josh Jobe.
Christian
Jobe,
Harris, maybe
Jobe would be a first-rounder.
But even if 3 first-rounders, compared to what Alabama has been doing,
normally 5 or 6.
It'll feel very different, right? So
well, the team looks different.
Yeah,
the team looks different.
It's young, and that's what everyone talked about coming in. Georgia's experience. Almost everybody in college football has those super seniors. Arkansas's got super seniors. Georgia's got a bunch of people that opted back in. They got a very senior-oriented team. Alabama, very, very talented, very inexperienced team.
Well, let me quickly go through the skill positions. You tell me, have they underachieved, met, or achieved based on your expectation level?
Okay.
Based on what you expected. Let's start with Bryce Young.
Overachieved.
I agree with you on that. Brian Robinson.
Running backs as a group,
running
probably
backs as a group.
underachieved,
Brian
but
Robinson.
he's overachieved.
Yeah, Brian
He's
Robinson's been what I thought he would be and more.
Yeah, and you've lost McClellan. Roydale Williams is just now getting in there. You don't see any of Trey Sanders. Let's go to the receivers. Jamison Williams.
Overachieved.
I mean, the receivers as a group have underachieved
They have,
based on
but,
Sanders.
let's go individually.
But
They have.
Jamison Williams, overachieved.
He's better than I thought he was going to be.
Our weekly guest, John Mechie.
Underachieved.
Not what I thought he would be.
I would agree completely with you. Slade Bolden.
Has really, to me, had a lesser role this year than he had last year.
I think he has.
I mean, he's returned kicks some, but I don't disagree with you. I mean, it feels like he's almost disappeared at times, hasn't it? JoJo Earl. I mean, now listen, we're getting into freshmen, but you get conditioned to think they're going to play right away at Alabama and make an impact.
But that's the point, is how quickly are you into the freshmen now?
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised that he's not getting more touches.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how deep I even need to go with it. I mean, Ajay Hall he's abducted by aliens.
Yep.
Tyu Jones-Bell, you don't even see him. Trayshawn Holden had a catch Saturday night. He doesn't play a lot. Let's go to tight ends. Jaleel Billingsley.
Underachieved.
Way underachieved.
Yeah.
I mean, he was awful Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, he was good.
Missed the Miami
2
game.
weeks ago against Ole Miss.
He's had a good game, basically.
Well, Latu's been better.
Latu has been much better than
Yeah.
you would have thought, I think. So, I mean, you look at that. How many of the guys did you say have underachieved?
Yeah, but
Based on your expectations.
Go to the offensive line as a group. It hasn't been.
It has not been.
It has not been as good as expected.
In
No.
fact, Neal may be the only guy you would say has met expectations. Maybe. I mean, I don't know what your guys' expectations were for that offensive line.
But see, now do the defense.
Okay.
And there was discussion about how good the linebackers would be sideline to sideline.
Well, when
they have not played as well.
You lose multiple guys to injuries, although
that is part of it. Yes.
Well, I mean, I'll just say it like this. When Wimp was on, a lot of people in the chat, when he was getting on safeties, were like, Wimp doesn't need to stop at the safeties. Alabama's bad up the middle, period. Like, here's a great example. Henry To'oTo'o. How has he performed based on what you thought you were getting out of Tennessee?
I would say a little underachieved,
Yeah,
but I think my expectations were high because he was first team All SEC, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought
my
we
expectations
were
were
going
high.
to see 12 or 13 tackles a game.
Yeah, my expectations were very high for him. And I'm with Lance, like 12 or 13 tackles per game.
Yeah.
Just go across the front, DJ Dell.
I mean, it's hard for me to sit there and judge the defensive line because I don't sit there and watch that. And it's
You
not
haven't
a
watched
stat.
the All-22?
It's not a stat position where you're sitting there. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes your role is to eat up 2 blockers
Right.
so To'oTo'o can make the
but
tackle.
I will just say this: at all 3 levels, I thought this was going to be an A+ defense.
Yep, I did too.
And right now, B.
Christian Harris?
Projected first rounder, and I don't think he's playing like that right
He's
now.
played
No.
okay.
I'll
mean-
tell you what is bothering me right now about the Alabama defense, at least the other night, and